I've been streaming a ton of Lowmans over on my Twitch. If you don't watch or just come hang out, click the link in the description below. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's gmeiners here, and in this video, I figured I'd do something a little different and go over what I think Destiny desperately needs. This is hands down one of the slowest and most content dry seasons that we've had in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to go over 3 things that would make Destiny way more fun to play. And I also want to know what you guys think too, so comment one idea below that you think would make Destiny better that isn't currently in the game, and also let me know if you agree with mine. If you guys do enjoy this style of content, don't forget to drop a like and sub down below. Subbing is completely free, it helps me out a ton, and you can always change your mind later. As I mentioned, there are 3 things that I've wanted Bungie to add for a while now that I think would overall give people more of a reason to play each season. One of these things is more so for fun, but I think the other 2 would provide a lot more content for people to play on a weekly basis. Starting off with the content ideas, first, I think Destiny needs some sort of parkour courses added to the game. Destiny is heavily movement-based with different jumps, movement-specific exotics, movement weapons like eager-edged swords, and even lightweight frames. And it might be a glitch, but we also have higher skill movement techs like well and shadow dive skating that could also be used. Unless you do speedruns or other harder activities that require these movement techs and builds, they kind of go unused in PvE. Sure, you can use them for fun, but I think releasing a time trial mode where you aim for the quickest time on a course would give the game a lot of life. It wouldn't be too different from something like SRL back in D1, which people actually loved, and it would also be crazy easy to implement. In-game timers for missions already exist, Bungie could reuse assets to make new courses, and just by having them on rotation, it would give players something to look forward to during non-event weeks. You could even implement mechanics with weapons to shoot something to open doors or platforms, and add in sparrows here and there to spice things up. I think it would be a great place for new players to work on their movements, and a place for more advanced players to have fun perfecting theirs. You could also at the very least add a pinnacle or powerful reward for getting certain times on a course, so the activity could fit in with the usual power grind each season. I have no doubt that this would be a huge hit if we got something like it. Idea number 2 is something that we've kind of had in the past, but is still something that we never got to its fullest potential. I think a Horde mode in Destiny would be amazing. We've had Escalation Protocol and the Haunted Forest, but the issue with both of these and everything like it is that they eventually end or you fail based on time. A Horde mode with scaling difficulty per round or per wave would be way more enjoyable and could offer hundreds of hours of fun each season. The only incentive somebody would need is to hop into this mode to farm XP for their artifact and for some crafted weapons. And Bungie could easily add solo, trio, 6-man, and potentially even 12-man versions. Multiple difficulties could also be added, similar to those that we have in Strikes, just as long as champs aren't there. And in terms of content, one new map or arena could be added each season or even every other season, which I think would be plenty. And it could always just be thrown into pre-existing areas that we might not have had much use for before if making new maps is too hard. Picking the best spot to bunker down and defend, along with the best team comp to use and subclass builds, would allow teams to optimize their runs, and then players could also compete to get the highest round before their team wipes. There could even be modes where you go in with a loadout and those where you earn better weapons and gear to use as you progress. This would honestly just be like COD Zombies, but with some twists. Basically, a mode where you can just go into an activity and kill enemies without worrying about timers or mechanics would be super chill, and then once again, it would be a great place to farm red borders, level weapons, get XP, and complete catalysts. This brings us to the final thing that Destiny needs, which in my opinion are leaderboards. Now right off the bat, I think this sounds kind of dumb. For PvP, we already have Trials Report and other tracking sites, and for PvE, we have Raid Report, Dungeon Report, Strike Report, you name it, there's a report site. But I think a seasonal leaderboard would be super cool to look at. This could work for both PvE and PvP modes. PvE specifically, I feel like it would be really cool to compete each season to see who performs the best and the most in PvE. Giving players points each season for completing different activities and giving multipliers based on performance would be really cool to see. I think this would also give people incentive to go back and do things like flawless raids each season, do more Sherpas, get faster clear times for raids, etc. In a lot of successful multiplayer games, you can go in-game and see who some of the top and most active players are. Now, most of the time, these are PvP games, but I think with a good system, the same could work really well in PvE. This just gives players incentive to try and see their name in a top spot one day, but it also increases the feeling of community. Destiny clans are one of the coolest features in game. Everyone knows a clan that has some crazy ass achievements and a stacked group of players, but there isn't really much that clans can do other than show who's in the group. It would be really cool to see some of the people in the community who are super active and are constantly pushing the envelope in the sandbox, and then also maybe adapt that system to see which clans overall are the most active and competitive too. It would definitely take a good system for a leaderboard to work properly, but it's worth it for the level of excitement and competitive spirit that it brings to games. These are the 3 things that I think would add a lot to Destiny. I also think they would be pretty easy to implement, especially the Parkour and Horde modes, but I'm curious what you guys think. Is my list valid, and what are some other things that you think should also be added? Let me know in the comments below, or join my Discord to discuss it there. Anyways, that's all for this video, guys. As always, have a good one. Peace.